road is a completely true story. This incident happened in real life, and though we experienced fear in that dreadful event, many people there claim it's all a lie. Nothing like that happens, and such things only exist in stories. Perhaps I used to think the same way, but now I believe that something like this does happen, which scares many people. It is the era of modern science and technology. Still, many people today are haunted by some frightening event somewhere. The reason is that, just like we humans exist in this world, many other creatures also exist around us. Some of them are visible, like animals, birds, insects, marine creatures, etc. But there are also creatures that make us fearful, such as wild animals, like lions, cheetahs, wolves, snakes, etc. Because we can see all these creatures clearly. However, there are many creatures in this world that we may have never seen. Yet, they exist in this world with us, like the creatures called Jinn, Churail, Shaloa, Dayan, and evil spirits. These are the things that are often found in abandoned places, on deserted spaces, on old trees, and in filthy areas. The cold road is a place where these things are often found. In places where the sun doesn't shine for 40 days and lights don't burn, these things tend to linger, because they prefer desolation and darkness, so that they don't come face to face with any human, and when we do encounter them, it's as unpleasant for them as it is for us when someone takes control of our place. So, they try to scare us away from there, to make us leave that place so that they can establish their dwelling. There are also many types of them. Some only scare humans, while others cause harm to humans. These things often frighten us when we are alone in a deserted place, like when we pass through a lonely, desolate area suddenly encountering a terrifying sound. This means that you are crossing the limits of that thing. And it's not necessary that the place is only outside the house. It can be any part of your house where you rarely go, like the storeroom, basement, attic, etc. Sometimes, we cannot see them, but we feel their presence. And sometimes, when even one of those things becomes apparent to us, we get very scared, because we have never had any direct interaction with those things. So, seeing them in front of us frightens us a lot, and we lose our senses. The same happened to me as well. I didn't believe in those things like other people, while those things had taken control of an old basement of ours. It was only when my dad's friend, Mr. Alam, got rid of those things that I had a good sense of relief. Since then, many incidents had happened before and after that, in front of my eyes. But I had put all that aside and convinced myself that it's nothing, because I had overcome those incidents. And now I considered myself a brave person, wanting to teach my friends the same. Whenever a friend told me about those things, I used to make fun of it. I used to tell them that they are very cowardly. Nothing like that happens. These things existed in the past, not anymore. And then, once, I went to the cinema with friends. We watched a show from 9 to 12, and all friends came out of the cinema together. That's when one of my friends said, "Hey, look, the fog has come down so much that nothing is visible." Because it was December, and the cold was very intense. As soon as we left the cinema, my teeth started clattering. The cold was so severe that visibility was reduced to just 10 steps. I said, "Hey, now we'll have to ride the bike at the speed of a tortoise." "Look, nothing is really visible. So, how will we reach home on time?" Friends replied, "No worries. We have to go home anyway, And besides, let's not wait for the fog to clear here. Let's go. After that, we all started our bikes, and from there, we moved towards home together. We hadn't gone far when one friend said, "Hey, the road is completely empty. No one is stopping us. Why not have a race and see who reaches the neighborhood first?" Upon hearing this, the rest of the friends said, "Okay, let's see today who has the courage." Why are you doing a job that leads to death? Nothing is visible, even 10 steps ahead, and you guys are talking about a race. I said, "Hey, it's not like that." Due to the fog, visibility is low, so how can we race like this? Don't you think we should be very cautious at this time? That's why my other friend said, "Hey, we all love races. Let it come slowly. Besides, when we go in front of it at the speed of lightning, I'm sure all his precautionary advice will be forgotten, and he'll fly the bike like the wind." Because that's his way of teasing whenever someone overtakes him. So, he automatically starts a race with them and goes ahead. Only a few people know about it, right? He's just playing drama and nothing else. In the meantime, another friend said, "Come on, let's start then." 3, 2, 1, go. Saying this, everyone increased the speed of their bikes, and in no time, they disappeared in fog. I was wearing a thin jacket, and I didn't even have gloves on my hands. As a result, my hands became extremely cold. Due to the intense cold, I was shivering a lot. The entire road was deserted, and I was walking alone on the road like a madman. Now, I was feeling very cold, so I kept the speed of my bike slow because my whole body was trembling due to the cold. The road was empty again after some time. I was silently walking, and there was such silence that I could only hear the sound of my bike. I couldn't hear anyone else's sound. I continued walking and reached a turn where there was a shortcut. The name of this shortcut was Cold Road, and this is the new name of this road. Whereas this road was famous by the name of Bamboo Road at that time, because on both sides of this road, there were big bamboo trees. Both sides of the road were covered with trees as if someone had put a roof of bamboo on this road. I thought that if I take the road with bamboo trees, I will quickly reach my friends because my friends will go straight to Dharampura through Mall Road. I will reach them. But along with this, I was also a little scared because this road was already infamous for strange and unusual incidents. I had heard about this road from many people. They said that this road has a lot of spooky things. It was also said that whoever passes through this road after 7 p.m., strange things happen to them. Many people didn't even pass through this road during the day because they were scared. Because both sides of this road had no settlement, only some jungle-like shrubs and bamboo trees. Some distance away, there was an old college on the side, and the way to go to the college was also on the side of the canal. Meaning, only the wall of the college behind this road was there, and after 7 p.m., no one passed through here. Whereas, I was standing on this road around 12:38 at night. Then I thought, man, I'm already scared like this. People just believe in such rumors. While near me, these are just rumors. Thinking this, I started walking on this road and gradually started riding the bike. The fog on this road was even more intense. Only in the light of the bike, a little visibility was there. I had just gone a little distance when I felt that someone in white clothes was standing on the left side of the road, but I couldn't clearly see it. I reduced the speed of my bike and moved a bit forward. When I turned on the bike's light to put on my raincoat, I saw a beautiful woman standing on the left side of the road. She was dressed in a charming white outfit with long, flowing black hair left open. Her face was attractive and beautiful, adorned with lots of jewelry, giving the impression that she belonged to a wealthy family. I thought to myself, what is this woman doing here? She might be involved in some shady activities, or could be collaborating with robbers to loot people pretending to offer lifts. I accelerated my bike even more and cautiously approached her. When the distance between us was only 10 steps, I veered my bike to the right side of the road and stopped while she remained on the left. I thought that if anything went wrong, I could easily escape. I asked her loudly, "Who are you, and what are you doing here?" However, she didn't respond. I thought she might not have heard me, so I approached a bit closer and asked again. Still, there was no reply. Now, I was getting nervous, considering the possibility of her being involved in some criminal activity. As I was contemplating whether to leave or insist on an answer, she suddenly burst into tears and said, "I am in big trouble." I was returning from a family function with my husband and relatives when our bike got a flat tire. We were walking, and my husband went to fix the puncture. He hasn't returned yet, and I am scared being alone in this deserted place. Her words stirred compassion in my heart. I suggested, "If you're comfortable, you can sit on my bike, and I'll take you to your husband. We can look for help together." She agreed, and we started riding towards the direction she pointed. Despite the tension at first, the situation started to feel better. I thought, maybe she could become a good friend. I decided to engage in a conversation, telling her about myself and asking about her life. However, she remained silent, ignoring my attempts to initiate a conversation. Feeling somewhat rejected, I continued to ride in silence. After a while, I thought maybe she was just not interested in talking, and the idea of her being arrogant started bothering me. As these thoughts consumed me, she suddenly spoke in an angry tone.
"Stay quiet and keep moving forward, or you'll regret it."
Startled and afraid, I realized I had misjudged the situation. The road seemed endless, and although I was pushing the bike to its limit, it felt as if an unseen force was holding it back. Fear enveloped me, realizing that I couldn't escape this mysterious and potentially dangerous encounter. The voice of someone loudly breathing behind me began to be heard. It was as if someone was forcefully inhaling near my ears. Goosebumps started to appear on my skin, and in that moment, I realized that it wasn't a person with me, rather, something else. Suddenly, a hand was placed on my shoulder, and a wave of fear ran through my entire body. Trembling, I turned to look at my shoulder and saw a strange black hand with large, nail-studded fingers. The hand slowly moved towards my neck, and a chilling laughter emanated from behind me. The laughter was so intense that it drowned out the sound of my bike, which seemed to have gotten stuck in one place while its tires were still spinning. At the same time, someone placed their mouth on my other shoulder. Terrified, I looked back and saw a terrifying figure sitting behind me. The figure was completely black, but it had large, bright white eyes that shone like lights in the night. It had its hand placed on my neck. With its other hand, it was holding onto a tree that was quite far away. Perhaps that's why the bike wasn't moving forward. Seeing all this, my entire body became as cold as ice. In a louder voice, I started reciting a prayer, and at that moment, a horrifying scream came from behind me. Trembling, I looked back, and there was a very monstrous-looking woman sitting there. Her appearance was entirely black, but her eyes were big and bright white, shining like lights. She had placed one hand on my neck. The other hand was gripping a tree, and the bike wasn't moving. Witnessing this, my entire body turned cold like snow. I continued reciting the prayer in a louder voice, and she released my neck. I quickly recited the prayer, and the bike, freed from her grasp, suddenly accelerated and went ahead at full speed. I didn't look back, and, without stopping, reached the village in about 5 minutes. Without delay, I went home. I have no idea how far that thing chased me. All I know is that on that day, I immediately got a high fever, and after that day, I never made fun of anyone again because I realized that supernatural things exist everywhere, and one should never forget them. Thanks for joining us on this journey of mysterious tales and real-life encounters. If you enjoyed the thrill, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Stay curious, stay brave, and until next time, keep exploring the unknown with HorrorTube.